Why is it said that in old age one should not go visiting around? Reasons you must know. Do you agree with this perspective? In old age, it's best to limit visiting or socializing with others. Is this a sign of isolation, or could it actually be a wise way of avoiding unnecessary troubles? In today's video, we'll dive deep into the changes in social behavior as people age. Why do many elderly individuals choose a more private lifestyle? Are they seeking peace? Or is it simply because they've lost faith in social relationships? Have you ever thought that reducing social interactions could be a way for older adults to protect themselves from unnecessary conflicts? Let's discuss this together, and don't hesitate to share your opinion in the comments section. Do you support or oppose this way of life? Stay tuned until the end of the video to uncover surprising truths and important lessons that will help you better understand the journey of life in old age. And if you find this content interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get started. 1. Reflecting on the days of youth. Think back to the days of your youth, when friends would visit each other without any particular reason, just for a simple meal and endless conversations. Back then, meeting up didn't require much thought. Everything was natural and genuine. Those gatherings not only strengthened bonds, but also created priceless memories, as everyone cherished the sincerity in their relationships. But as time goes by, society changes, and core values, like sincerity, are sometimes replaced by more superficial interactions. Is that why we invite friends over less often, or has our perspective on friendship itself changed? There's a saying, "You are influenced by the company you keep." This makes us wonder, is our environment affecting the way we maintain relationships? And in today's modern world, is true connection gradually fading away? Think about this. Why are home-cooked meals with friends so rare now? And why do we prefer meeting in public places like cafes or restaurants? This isn't just a shift in habits. It also reflects how we perceive intimacy and privacy in relationships. In old age, is choosing a quieter lifestyle a way to protect inner peace, or is it a step toward giving up on social connections? 2. A private lifestyle, a choice or a necessity? As people age, many older Americans start seeking peace in their daily routines. But is this a form of avoidance or an adaptation to changes in perception and emotions? Take Mr. John, for example, a retired man from California who stepped away from his career at the age of 65. Once a busy businessman attending social events and meeting friends frequently, Mr. John now finds joy in tending his backyard garden, taking morning walks, and playing with his beloved dog. When asked why he no longer invites friends over as often as before, he shared, "At this age, I've realized that maintaining a good relationship doesn't require frequent meetings. True friends will understand without demanding it." Many older Americans feel the same way, believing that frequent visits to others' homes are no longer suitable. Differences in lifestyle, habits, or expectations can sometimes make these visits more stressful than enjoyable. Mr. John once mentioned that he prefers to avoid the possibility of becoming a burden to others, even close friends. Another example is Mrs. Susan, a 68-year-old woman living in Texas. She used to love hosting small parties with her friends, but in recent years she realized that not everyone feels comfortable with her frequent presence. On one occasion, after visiting an old friend a few times, she learned through the friend's daughter that the family felt unaccustomed to hosting guests so often. This revelation made Mrs. Susan reflect and adjust her behavior. She started spending more time on herself, finding joy in cooking, reading, and journaling. She shared, "I still cherish my friends, but I've come to understand that maintaining some distance may also help preserve harmony." So, when older adults in America choose to lead more private lives, is this truly driven by personal needs, or is it a response to societal influences that push them to change? This is a thought-provoking question. What do you think? Do you support this quieter lifestyle, Or do you believe older people should remain more open to social interactions? Share your thoughts in the comments section. 3. When quietness brings peace. In old age, living a quieter life is not just a choice, but sometimes a way to find inner peace. Take the story of Mr. Michael, a retired teacher from New York. After retiring, he gradually realized that spending time alone allowed him to better appreciate the values of life. Instead of attending parties or weekly gatherings with friends as he used to, he now spends his time writing, tending to his indoor bonsai trees, and meditating. He shared, "In the quiet moments, I feel truly alive. I understand what I value most and how to prioritize my life accordingly." However, not everyone views quietness in a positive light. Some consider it a sign of loneliness and self-isolation. Is this perception right or wrong? Consider this. Does reducing social interaction necessarily mean isolation, or could it be an opportunity to reconnect with oneself? Take Mrs. Emily from Florida as another example. A 70-year-old woman enjoying a peaceful life in the suburbs, she initially struggled to adjust from her previously vibrant lifestyle to the quietness of old age. But over time, she realized that simple joys, like morning walks along the beach or reading a book with a cup of tea, brought a sense of happiness she had never experienced before. That said, Mrs. Emily emphasizes that living a quieter life doesn't mean cutting off relationships entirely. She stays in touch with a few close friends through phone calls or occasional meetups at cozy cafes where both parties feel at ease. This demonstrates that a quiet lifestyle doesn't equate to rejecting the world, but rather finding a gentler, more personal way to engage with it, one that aligns with an individual's needs and preferences. 4. The power of quietness. Quietness in old age is not just a state of being. It can become a source of strength that helps individuals face life's challenges. Let's listen to the story of Mr. Robert, a 72-year-old man living in Seattle. Mr. Robert struggled with the loss of close friends and felt an emptiness in his relationships. However, instead of letting loneliness take over, he began to appreciate the value of quietness. "I realized that instead of trying to fill the void with unnecessary meetings, I could use this time to understand myself," he said. He started attending painting and yoga classes, not to make friends, but to connect with himself. Mr. Robert shared that spending time alone made him stronger, more confident, and more aware of the value of self-reliance. Similarly, Mrs. Linda, 69, from Colorado, learned to harness quietness to heal from past relationship wounds. She once felt pressured to maintain connections with friends who no longer shared her values or outlook on life. "Sometimes, silence is the best answer," she shared. Instead of chasing social relationships, Mrs. Linda chose to focus on her family and herself. Peaceful afternoons with a cup of coffee, journaling, and reflecting on life brought her a serenity that social interactions could not. An interesting realization shared by both Mr. Robert and Mrs. Linda is that quietness is not a sign of weakness or isolation, but a reflection of self-control. When you no longer feel the need to please others, you discover a sense of true freedom. But this raises a question: how can one balance the enjoyment of quietness with maintaining meaningful relationships? Perhaps leading a quieter life must be paired with carefully choosing relationships that truly matter. What do you think? 5. Balancing quietness and meaningful connections. Quietness brings strength, but that doesn't mean we have to completely disconnect from the world around us. The question is, how can we enjoy time alone while still maintaining meaningful relationships? Let's look at the story of Mrs. Karen, a 70-year-old woman from Boston. She loves the quiet, but instead of giving up on relationships, she focuses on staying in touch with a few truly important friends. They meet once a month at a familiar cafe to chat and share stories. For Mrs. Karen, these rare gatherings not only strengthen friendships, but also avoid the pressure of unnecessary social interactions. She shared, "I don't need many friends. I just need those who truly understand and respect me. The time spent with them isn't an obligation. It's a joy. Another way to find balance is to choose shared activities rather than traditional meetups. Mr. James, a 68-year-old from Texas, regularly attends a local book club. There, he enjoys his love of reading while connecting with like-minded individuals. He said, "We don't talk much about our personal lives, but focus on book topics instead. It makes the conversations light and pressure-free." This shows that maintaining connections doesn't necessarily require complete openness. You can choose relationships and activities that align with your interests and values. Remember, quietness is not an absolute state. It's about balancing time for yourself with maintaining relationships with those who truly matter. You don't need to attend every social event, nor do you have to be alone all the time. The key is finding the rhythm that suits you best. What do you think about this way of living? Do you agree that selectively nurturing relationships can lead to greater happiness? Or do you believe that being too reserved might cause us to miss out on valuable connections? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for staying with us until the end of the video. Remember, whether you choose a quiet or vibrant lifestyle, the most important thing is to live in a way that brings you happiness and peace. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any valuable content. See you in the next video.